because you can have 100 failures, but if you crack one company, then no one is going to remember those 100 failures. The people are going to remember the one company that you cracked. So one success is enough to remove the memory of 100 failures. So you failed your interview, now what? So I'm not going to make this a motivational video because I'm not Sandeep Maheshwari, but I am a problem solver, so I'm going to tell you what to do. But before I tell you that, I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me. So about 2-3 years back, I was preparing for a company that was a really great company, and it had a package of around 35 LPA. So I was preparing for it and I was working very hard. I was solving a lot of problems, I was brushing up my concepts, I was learning DSA, and I was preparing for it very, very much. Okay, and I was very well prepared for the company as well. Now, a friend of mine was preparing for the same company, but he was new to DSA. At that time, I had mastered DSA very much. I was very good in DSA at that time, but the friend of mine was not that good in DSA. He was just a beginner in DSA. Okay, so both of us were preparing for the same company, and I suggested him to go for lead code, and he started solving lead code problems. I was also doing lead code problems, and the day of the interview came. So the first round, both of us cleared. It was an online coding round. And in the second round, it was a face-to-face interview, and the interviewer was giving a coding question to each one of the person. Okay, so a coding question was given to me, and that coding question was about a multi-source BFS, and I tried my best to solve the problem, but I could not come to an exact solution, so I was rejected in that round. And the friend of mine, he also got one problem from dynamic programming, and he was able to solve it, and later down he also got selected to the company. So I asked him, what problem were you given in the interview, and he told me that he was given the exact same question that he had solved one day before in lead code. And then I saw the question that I was given was also there in lead code. So the interviewer was giving questions from lead code, and he had luckily solved the same question a day before. Okay, and I did not even know of this question that was there on lead code. So the point of me saying this is that there's a lot of factors in the interview that you have no control over. Okay, so there's this luck factor, there's this chance factor. Okay, so some topic that you are very well prepared with might come up in the interview, or some topic that you have no idea in might come in the interview. Okay, so this luck factor you have no control over. So what should you do? Should you give up? Absolutely not. What you should do is you should make sure that you minimize the effect of this luck factor. Okay, so the more you learn, the lesser effect this luck will have. So suppose a person has solved almost 500-600 questions, then obviously he'll have a higher chance of getting a problem that he has solved before, or problem like the problem he has solved before, right? And if someone has only solved 50-60 problems, then he'll be more dependent on luck. So what I'm trying to say is, the more you work or the more experience you gain, the easier it will be for you to crack your interview. So what you need to do is change this failure into experience. Okay, so whatever failure you had, so I'll tell you what I did. What I did was, whenever I was failing an interview, I had a sheet. I had a Google document sheet. I wrote the name of the company and I wrote the reason for failure. So if there was a topic which I didn't know, so suppose there was a company and I failed the interview of that company because of not knowing dynamic programming, I would write XYZ company, reason of failure, dynamic programming, this question. Then I worked twice as hard in dynamic programming. Likewise, whatever company I was failing in, I had written the name of that company and the reason for failure in a piece of paper. I want you to do the same. Whatever company you have failed, instead of looking on it as a failure, look on it as experience. Okay, whatever failure that you're getting, turn it into experience. Have a Google document and learn from your failure. Whatever problem was there, whatever topic was there, note it down in a Google Doc. The more experience you get, the more problems you solve, the luck factor will reduce, the chance factor will reduce, and the more things will come in your hand. But again, you can never be sure of cracking an interview. Okay, you might be very well prepared, you might be knowing 99% of everything, and still there's a 1% chance that something might come that you don't know, or some factor might be there that you have no control over. Okay, so don't look at failures as failures, don't be disheartened. I'm going to give you a little bit of motivation, but it's not motivation, but it's a general piece of advice. Don't take failures as failures, because you can have 100 failures, but if you crack one company, then no one is going to remember those 100 failures. The people are going to remember the one company that you cracked. So one success is enough to remove the memory of 100 failures. So focus on getting that one success. Don't focus on the failures you're getting. They're nothing but experience, and they're stepping stones of helping you crack the company that you really want. Okay, so reduce the luck factor, gain more experience, solve more problems, make this Google Doc, name the company, name the reason for failure, and trust me, you're going to eventually get to the company that you want. It's not that difficult, it's not that hard. Anyone can do it, everyone can do it. Just keep grinding. And again, the last part that I always tell everyone is never quit under frustration. Okay, keep giving it your all, and definitely I'll tell you that you will get to the place that you want to. So leave your experience in the comments, and hopefully it will help someone else as well. Do subscribe to my channel, and until next time, thank you.